Hey, what's happening, my fearless networking friends? Todd Falcone here with just a little thought process for you guys on how to get more done so you can actually take more vacation. So I know the title of this post is how do you make a fortune by going on vacation. I'm not talking about literally going on a vacation and you're going to make a fortune. Although when you have enough leaders on your team that are building, and then what's the phrase? When the cat's away, the mice will play. Well, maybe when the cat's away, the mice will go get after it because they're just, independent and they don't necessarily need you, which is a beautiful position to be in. And the way you get more into that position is by adopting this mindset, this philosophy that I'm going to share with you, what I call the vacation philosophy. So what's interesting is this. When someone goes on a vacation, let's say you're getting ready to go on a family vacation. You're going to be taking off. You're going to take the family to Hawaii for 2 weeks. And you're going to do nothing but vacay, right? You're going to be with the family, like that whole philosophy or that idea, wherever you are, be there, I think, is also a great philosophy to adopt. Wherever you are, be there. In other words, if you're on vacation, be on vacation. If you're at work, work. If you're with your wife, be with your wife. If you're with your kids, be with your kids. The presence of you is necessary. So this concept is something that I've taught for a number of years, and it has to do with approaching your business where you're looking to get as much done every single day that you possibly can. The truth is, a lot of people will show up at work or show up for their business and they'll kind of dilly-dally and they're cruising along and they're working inefficiently and they're, sporadic and their pace is kind of slow and they get done with their day and they look back and they're like, hey, what did I produce today? And they're like, well, I was busy, I guess. I really didn't get much done. And then there's people that'll show up and they'll put 2 hours in and they'll get more done in 2 hours than, another person might get done in an entire week. And what's the difference? It's how they approach the work. And so years ago, I started to adopt and teach this whole philosophy, this idea of work as if you're going on vacation tomorrow. Because the truth is, this, when you are getting ready to take off and go on a trip, there's loose ends, there are things that need to be tended to before you go out on that trip, because you're going to be wherever you're going to be. You got to put the dog with the sitter. You got to make sure somebody's picking up your mail. Somebody checks your front porch for packages. Who's going to take out the garbage for you? Got to cancel the newspaper. You got to make sure that the kids' soccer team knows that they're not going to be at practice on Thursday or next Thursday. There's things that have to. You got to be packed. You got to make sure you're packed on time. You got to have all these details done. And so it's crazy to me how people the last couple days before they go on a trip, they just all of a sudden become efficient. And there's like, wow, holy smokes, you got so much done in 24 hours. How did you do that? Well, I'm going on a trip. Well, what if you work that way every single day? Think about that. All it is a mindset. It's just like, hey, I'm gonna work as if I'm going on this trip. So I know we're not gonna be doing the same kind of loose ends, putting the dog over here, stopping the mail, stopping the newspaper, whatever it is. But it's the same thing. I'm just gonna get more done every single day. It makes me think of this conversation I had with a guy years ago in Costa Rica, who very successful entrepreneur, became utterly successful because he learned to do one thing, which was to say no to things that didn't directly contribute to the execution of his business plan. He had a mentor he was sitting down with, and he was like doing good, but the guy just said, look, you say yes to too many things. You need to learn to say no to anything and everything that does not directly contribute to the execution of that plan. And then all of a sudden, his business skyrocketed even more, and he made millions of dollars as a result of it because he was then able to sell that company. So what's interesting is this thought process, right? I'm going to work every day that I show up in my business as if I'm going on vacation tomorrow. So think about that for a second. This doesn't need to be a super long episode for you guys. This is not some complex thought process that we need to spend 25 minutes having a conversation about. It's a mindset. It's an attitude. It's just like, hey, this is the way I'm going to work. Like I'll tell you, I most days work that way. I can get more done by noon than most people get done in probably multiple days, just because I choose to work that way. I typically start very early. I get going early. I don't show up at my desk at 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm typically at my desk by 7:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 6:30 in the morning, already starting my day and already at a feverish pace, like I'm getting stuff done, right? So if you've never done this, just spend a few days this week acting as if you're going on vacation. The way that you're working, the way that you're building your business is like, I got to get this done. Another way of thinking about it, okay, is what if you only had a month to build your business? You got to get everything done like during the first 30 days of your business or the next 30 days of your business if it's not your first 30 days. And all the stuff that you get done during that 30-day window is going to carry you into the future. Now, I have another friend of mine that I taught many, many years ago this idea of launching a business and the idea of concentrated effort. And everything for that first 30 days other than that business typically would get set aside. Like I'm going from 8 till faint or 7 till faint, or I guess there's no rhyme with that, but early in the morning until I can't go anymore, and I'm going to get as much done in terms of reach outs and presentations. I'm going to fill my day. I'm going to jam pack my day with as much stuff as I can, specifically business building stuff, every single day, 7 days a week for the first 30 days, and then let's see what happens. And she did this with 2 different companies, and in both cases, when she did it, within her first, I don't even know, first 90 days in one company, she was up over 30 grand a month. She was up over 20 grand a month in the second company that she did this with. And it's just a matter of how you choose to work. Do you choose to kind of cruise along, or do you just get it done? So that's the idea. That's the concept. I don't know where you're at. You might be on my YouTube channel. What's up, YouTubers? If you're on my podcast, love the audio folks. Listen to me on podcasts as well. The rest of this episode, other conversations, resources are right here on my website, toddfalcone.com/episode 143. Again, TODDFALCONE.com/episode 143. We'll see you next time.